Hey, it's Bob Nee with the Clearview Center. How are you? I'm doing great. Today I'm going to give you the number one technique that I teach my people who are anxious to help them reduce the adrenaline in their body. Now, anxiety is just adrenaline. It's a chemical flowing through your body. It comes from your adrenal glands, these little glands on top of your kidneys. But it starts in your amygdala, which is in that reptilian brain, that brain that's way down deep inside, that only is concerned about breathing, eating, drinking water, sleeping, and procreating. That's all that it does. Its sole purpose is to continue the species, to keep you alive. So its sole purpose is to notice anything that might happen to want to kill you and let you know about it so it doesn't kill you. So here's the number one technique. This is the best technique I've ever seen. It's actually the technique that they teach Navy SEALs to reduce their adrenaline. So there's four things they teach them: simulation, close your eyes and take a deep breath, positive self-talk, short-term goals. Simulation they teach before, to do before the situation that you're going to encounter that makes you anxious. And the other three you can do during the anxiety. Okay, so simulation is just if you're about to go into an anxious situation and you run it over in your head, you may actually be able to create anxiety in your head by seeing yourself there, hearing yourself there, experiencing yourself there. You can actually create adrenaline just by thinking about it. So you run it through in your mind. Then you do it again. The second time there'll be a little less adrenaline. Then you run it through again. The next time there'll be a little less adrenaline. Every time you run it through in your head and create that anxiety, there'll be a little less anxiety. Your brain will create a little less adrenaline because it's starting to get used to that thing. It's building up a tolerance and it's not worried about it so much anymore. So simulation is what you do beforehand. If you know you're going to be into an anxious kind of event of some kind, you can run it through in your head over and over again to reduce the amount of adrenaline that you're actually going to have when you're in that situation. The other three things you can do when you're in the midst of anxiety. So, number two, close your eyes and take a deep breath. When you close your eyes, you're telling your brain, I don't see any danger, so you don't have to create any more adrenaline. We don't close our eyes when we're in the middle of a dangerous situation. Oh, by the way, don't do this thing if you're driving or if you're piloting a boat or if you're supposed to be watching the kids. Come on, don't be a dork. All right. If you're not doing one of those three things, you can close your eyes and take a deep breath. It's the biofeedback system that we tell our brain, our midbrain, that you don't have to be anxious anymore. It's our prefrontal cortex, that highest part of our brain, that highest thinking part of our brain, that makes us decide, I'm going to close my eyes and take a deep breath. When you got adrenaline flowing through your body, you're taking short, shallow breaths, right? Because that gets the most oxygen into your body, okay? So when we close our eyes, take a deep breath. We're actually telling our brain to go from beta, which is that agitated, excited brain state, into alpha, which is a little more calm, on the way to theta. And theta is that state when you're sitting in front of the TV and you're dozing off and your eyes close and you start snoring and your wife says, hey, are you asleep? And you say, no, I'm not asleep, right? You know what I mean? You are just drifting from alpha into theta. In alpha, you can see, hear, and experience the things going on in your environment. When you're in theta, you only see, hear, and experience the things going on in your mind in the dream state. So yeah, there's a transition from alpha to theta. You're not really completely asleep. You're almost asleep, and you're kind of asleep. So don't argue with your wife. She's right. Okay. So close your eyes. The second thing, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Third thing, positive self-talk. I'm not going to die. I'll be okay. I'm strong. I'm confident. I can take care of this. It's all going to go away in a minute. And that's the last thing, short-term goals. It's all going to go away in a minute. I'll be fine in the next 20 minutes. If you're having a genuine panic attack, it's only going to last 20 minutes on average, right? Sweeping generalization, not true in every instance, but about 20 minutes is all they last, right? Short-term goals. I'm going to be okay if I make it through the next 20 minutes. I'm going to be okay if I make it to breakfast. Because you know the Navy SEALs got up at 4 in the morning to run their day and they don't get breakfast till 7. If I just make it to lunch, I'll be okay. If I just make it to the end of the day, I can go home, relax, sit on my couch, watch funny TV, I'll be okay, right? So close your eyes, take a deep breath. It's that biofeedback system that we use the front part of our brain to tell the rest of our brain and our body that the danger has gone away and we can calm down. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Again, don't do it when you're driving or watching the kids. All right. Positive self-talk. I'm strong. I'm confident. I've done this before. Bob taught me this great technique and he knows what he's doing because he's done this for a long, long time. I've been clean and sober for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. I've been happy and calm, not depressed and anxious for like 30 years, since 1993. So I know what I'm doing. And I'm a great therapist. My goodness, I just really am. And short-term goals. If I just make it through the next 5 minutes, I'll be okay. If I just make it through the next 20 minutes, I'll be okay. If I just make it to lunch, I'll be okay. If I just make it through this meeting, I'll be okay. If I just make it to the end of the day, I can go home and relax in my wonderful, peaceful place and pet my kitty and my puppy. So those are the 4 things you do. Give it a shot. Next time you're anxious, try this thing. Oh, wait. You're anxious right now because you just looked on YouTube for a fast, easy, low-cost way to reduce your anxiety, and you found me. Cool. So try it. Leave me a comment below on how well it worked, because I know it's going to work. So subscribe and like and all that stuff that you're supposed to do. So there you go. This is one of my first videos. I'm doing a series of videos to help people through the stuff that I've been through, trauma, addiction, depression, to get healed and clean and sober and happy and calm. So I know what I'm doing. I'm Bob Neve at the Clearview Center of St. Pete, Florida. Have a good night.